Standing Simmer here today, and welcome back to the channel for an apartment renovation in The Sims 4. This is a pretty cool apartment because A, it's an apartment that I'm fairly certain we've never renovated on the channel to this day, and also one that I decided to use for my current household. In fact, that was the whole reason for me renovating it to begin with. So I'm really excited to share this with you guys because I really like the way it turned out. So if you have been watching my Goth Family Current Households, you'll know that I forget, it may be the last one, I mentioned that I have built and renovated a lot of things for this family so far, but I haven't actually recorded a lot of those buildings. I kind of had just been keeping some of the recordings to myself. But with this particular apartment, I just had the feeling going into it that it was something that I would probably want to have when it was all said and done. And so I'm really glad that I decided to just go ahead and take the time to record it and go to the trouble of doing that, which really isn't that much trouble at all. I mean, let's be real. But I'm really glad that I decided to record it regardless. And this is kind of the result of that. So I'll be able to explain a little bit more about the characters for whom I'm creating this, and that I tried to be all like grammar there for a second. That didn't work. I'll tell you about the characters a little bit as we get further into the apartment, because especially when we're decorating their bedrooms and such, it makes sense why I chose to decorate them in a certain way. But the exterior, well, gosh, guys, I'm like a few minutes in this voiceover. I'm not even a few minutes, I'm like less than 2 minutes into this voiceover, and I'm already kind of a mess. Guys, I just got off work, and I'm between, work and another thing going on tonight for me, and I'm a bit of a mess right now, so just forgive me for that. I guess I probably just need to slow down for a second and take the time to put my thoughts together before I just let them like word vomit from my mouth. But anyways, so not the exterior, but the living area of this build, it turned out really cute. Right now, of course, we're working on the kitchen. It turned out to have this really cute red color scheme, which all branched from the fact that I decided to use that red swatch on the oven, which to my knowledge, I've never really used before. I was kind of glad that I decided to just do that. And then of course, from there came the bar stools and things like that that also have those pops of red. And the curtains, of course, have the pops of red as well. So rarely do I use those particular City Living curtain swatches. Usually I use like just about every swatch but that one. But that one with the red and the purple together is really cute. And I'm glad that I had the chance to kind of tuck it in this build. Another reason I really enjoyed doing this particular apartment renovation is that in apartments, at least so far in my game at least, they have not had the awful lag that has been prevalent in the simming community ever since I think the glass roof patch was kind of the culprit there. And it has since kind of come out that that was, of course, because of the glass roofs, which makes sense. That was kind of the common factor between before, when we didn't have the lag that we do now in build mode, and then now that we do have it. The glass roof was kind of that was the culprit, I'm pretty sure. But anyways, it was really nice to decorate this apartment because you really don't get that lag in apartments, because again, I think that the culprit, and I believe that SimGuru Nick or someone along those lines, someone kind of in the let's fix it part of for The Sims 4 confirmed on Twitter that that was the culprit, that was the reason we're having the issues, that it was tied to the roofing. So of course you don't have to worry about roofing in apartments. So the wall decor and the flooring, all of it went down effortlessly, which was really nice because, spoiler, there will be a build, as long as I can get it all together, there will be a build coming up later in the week on the channel that is just this humongous build. It's bigger than anything I've ever built before, which I don't know why I decided to do that, right here in the middle of this awful build lag that we're experiencing, but I'll probably have more than enough time to complain about that in the build later on in the week. But anyways, yes, so I was really just kind of enjoying the opportunity to build and decorate. Well, not really even build, but just floor plan decorate without the kind of lag that we've been experiencing here recently. So yeah, that was just kind of nice. I feel like it was kind of a retreat from all of those kind of glitchy issues that we've been having. So you guys have to let me know. I feel like I've heard people say that they have not had that build lag. I've seen a ton of people say that they have experienced that lag, but I've also seen some people say, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, that hasn't been an issue for me. So let me know in the comments. I mean, have you had that lag in build mode? Are you the kind of simmer who never goes into build mode? Would you even know the difference? If so, I kind of envy you right now, because this whole issue is kind of like making it a struggle in some ways for me to want to build things, which, like I said, I'll talk about that a little bit more later in the week for the video that's going to be coming up then. Once again, if I get my act together and fully edit down the footage the way it needs to be. It's so much footage. It's like sitting at the top of a mountain, and I haven't even like managed to climb the mountain yet. It's like, it feels like it's going to be so much work. So I haven't even started the journey yet because I'm so overwhelmed by the process, but I'll get there eventually. I'm really excited to share that with you guys. So it'll be up one of these days, but we're hoping for later this week. That's the goal. So yeah, once again, still just kind of decorating this entry area. I was really excited to decorate this particular apartment. Like I mentioned earlier, it's one that I've never renovated before here on the channel. And so anything new like that just kind of makes me excited. I love this apartment district specifically. It is in the arts district, and this, I'm sorry that I don't have the name of the apartment. I think it's in the Hakim House Apartments. It is kind of viewable there on the top left-hand corner if you want the specific apartment number, which I will try to put in the description down below with the download link. Actually, I tell you what, on that note, guys, you'll have to let me know how you feel about apartment downloads. Do a lot of you like to download apartments from Simmers? Do you just watch the videos because you just like to watch speed renovations? Because I've heard some people say that they don't ever really bother with putting downloads for apartments on the gallery because, as we all know, that is such a hassle. You know, you have to remove you have to remove at least a wall tile in each room so that the entire apartment as a whole can be considered a room, which some people have found clever ways to get around by not fully enclosing most of the apartment. But this apartment does have a lot of rooms. It's not necessarily open plan except for the living area, like between the living room and the kitchen. So there are a lot of walls closing these off into rooms. And so you guys will have to let me know, would you want me to put this on the gallery? Because I'm more than happy to do that, because as it stands right now, this is actually not on the gallery. But once again, I can easily do that if that's something that you guys would enjoy. Or just give me feedback in general. Are apartments something that you tend to download? Even if they're not my apartments necessarily, are apartments in general something that you enjoy downloading from other Simmers? Or do you tend to ignore those altogether and pretty much just stick with builds and then like renovate the apartment for yourself? I have all these questions, guys. So if you can weigh in on these sorts of things for me, I would really appreciate that, because then I would know whether I should go ahead and just, in the future, not even bother with uploading apartments to the gallery. Once again, I'm more than happy to do so if it's something that you guys feel like you could get some use out of. But I feel like apartments kind of get pushed to the side on the gallery because they have to be classed as rooms. I actually never go out of my way to search for rooms on the gallery because I don't use rooms that people have built. I do use apartments from time to time. So that's the only reason whatsoever I would ever go searching for a quote-unquote room. I'm sure that you've heard many people complain about this, and you might even have this complaint yourself, but I'm really excited for the day, if that day ever comes, that that whole gallery apartment issue is fixed, because I would love to be able to upload them like strictly as an apartment and then not have to go through the rigmarole of removing walls and uploading it as a room, blah, 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 blah. I'm just gonna go ahead and move on from that, because who wants to hear me complain about all that good stuff? I'm sure you guys have those complaints yourself anyway. We are actually working on the very first of the bedrooms that is for one of the Sims that I was going to have living in this household. And she is an artist Sim. She's not strictly an artist though. She's in the business career. So painting is a hobby that she's had ever since she was a teenager. In fact, she was actually an artistic child as well. So I wanted to make sure that her room was really pretty, very artsy, but that also had a very sensible kind of vibe to it. So it's not totally crazy. Like, she's got her pretty simple colors, but then there are like those nice pops of colors kind of throughout. And as you can see, those murals are painted on the walls. Murals are, of course, objects that you can get pre-painted off of the gallery. I didn't actually even bother with that this time. I placed the mural painting outline thing on the walls and then had the Sim who is meant to be in this room go ahead and paint those. So every room actually contains a mural. So if you guys do decide that you would want me to put this apartment on the gallery, and let me know that in the comments, and then if you do download it from there, then you have a mural in each of the bedrooms that was hand painted, might I add, by the Sim in my household that I'm talking about. So I think that's pretty cool, and they're actually really easy to restore. I know they start to fade over time, but since I have actually played in this apartment, all you do is you take a Sim and you just go over and you have them interact with it and then hit restore, and it takes like 2 seconds. So your Sim doesn't actually even have to be artistic in order to perform that interaction. It can be done by anybody. And you don't really have to worry about things being in the way either, because I've had multiple Sims restore all of the murals in this house and not had any issues whatsoever with having to move things or something being in the way, then not being able to get to it. So the room that we're working on right now and that we've almost kind of progressed away from is a room for a Sim of mine who is in the doctor career. She is a really cute, gosh, she's a gorgeous Sim. You guys will get to meet all of these Sims later on in the week, because I'm going to upload a current household video again of the family because I've been playing them so much. I'm obsessed. But the Sim that goes in this particular room, like I said, is a doctor. She has a bit of a mischievous side though. Like she has that chief of mischief aspiration. So she loves people. She loves to help people, but she really can't resist like a good prank from time to time. So she has her pretty little like office area with the gorgeous windows looking out into the city. In fact, the windows in this apartment are one of the reasons I chose this apartment to renovate for this family, because I love the views from it so much. So yeah, that was that room that we were just working on. She also has that little hamster cage in there as well, because I've never played, up until the point of playing with this particular household, have never played with the hamsters that came with my first pet stuff, or any of the small rodents for that matter. So it's been kind of fun kind of exploring that gameplay element. Since we have the pack anyway, you know, I have it in my game, you know, I'm gonna try to use some of the stuff if I can, even though I don't really love, you know, the underlying message anyway. So the room we're working on right now is for my musician Sim. So she is in the entertainer career, and so music is more her life than it is just a hobby per se. She was very musical when she was a child as well, and she decided to go ahead and carry that on into her career. So she is in the entertainer career, the musician branch. And at the time of moving her into this apartment, I wasn't exactly sure what instruments I wanted to focus on with that Sim. So I kind of put a variety just kind of around so that they could use whatever they wanted to. There is a keyboard out in the main living area because I thought that would be just kind of something nice to have. But then in her room specifically, we have the guitar, the violin, and the microphone. And that way you could practice, of course, either the comedy skill or the singing skill. So she kind of has gone a little bit more on the singing aspect of that. But yeah, guys, that is about all the time I have for you guys today to tell you about this apartment, but I hope you liked it regardless. Let me know in the comments once again about apartments. Do you like them? Do you want them uploaded? What do you think? Thank you so much for watching today. I really appreciate it. I hope you're having the best of days, and I'll see you very soon. Bye!
I'm so happy.